What's going on? Welcome to another live edition of Real Fans, Real Talk. We see y'all talking that smack in the comments too, but we here. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. We got a lot. Listen, it was a little bit emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like we had to get our bearings together from what went down. This past weekend in the NBA playoffs. But as I mentioned in the comments, we do have a guest that's going to be joining us today. H20 is going to be back with us for the night. Um, and if he's on, that means Balling for Peace is fastly approaching. And we got a couple of surprises that we're going to talk to you guys about tonight. We're going to officially announce who the celebrity guest judge will be for the dunk contest. But before we get into all of that, let me introduce my co-host, my brother, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend in Two Games. What's going on, man?
Well, you already know what's really good, man. We back at it. We are preparing now for the conference finals, East and West. We got some boxing to talk about because we had a historic boxing event that took place Saturday as well. So I'm ready to get to it, man. I see y'all in the comments. Y'all talking crazy as if we wasn't going to show up. I mean, we here. We always here. You know where to find us. We ain't hiding nowhere.
Yo, shout out to Ron Charles first in the building. Ron says Pacers put out the Knicks. Just you all go back over that series. Stephen A was on the air with Spike hyping Game 7 up, and Pacers shot the ball. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. They're Knicks fans. They ain't supposed to go in there being Debbie Downers. You want to hype your team up. It's Game 7 at the Garden, the most electrifying arena in the world. Win, lose, or draw, it don't matter. It's still the mecca of basketball. So they did what they were supposed to do. Unfortunately, there we go. All right. Well, I'm gonna bring.
We
There we
back?
go.
All right,
All right, we back. But yeah, my apologies about that, guys. But yeah, the injuries just kept piling on for the Knicks. I mean, nobody was hit by the injury bug like the Knicks were coming into this playoffs and then continuing and pretty much on a game by game basis, another Nick was dropping from the lineup with Bogdanovich to Mitchell Robinson to OG. Josh Hart went down for a minute. Jalen Brunson went down and then went down again in Game 7. But you gotta still tip your hat to the Knicks. They far exceeded expectations. Of this season. I don't think no one had them finishing in second place coming into the season. No one had them doing what they. I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't think they could stop Embiid in Philly, and barring these injuries, I still believe like the Knicks get the Pacers out of here in 5, maybe even a sweep. If you look at how things were going early before the injuries started really taking effect, I still think the Knicks beat the Pacers if they're healthy.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from the Pacers because I think we got to start by giving them their credit. Going into the series, I thought it was going to be a competitive series. I said on here, Trip, when you said 5 games, I said, no, I think it's going to at least go 6. I thought Indiana was a good young team. So I'm not making any excuses, and I'm not going to take anything away from the Pacers. They were down 0-2 in the series. They had to find a way to get back in the series. They did that. They were down 3-2. They were going to have to find a way to win a game in New York. They did that as well. So I think we got to start off with the praise of the Pacers and everything that they did to win this series. Their young players showed up when they had to. Halliburton played terrible in Game 1. He got better as the series went on. He looked really bad in Game 5, and then he looked good in Game 6 and 7. I think Pascal Siakam deserves a lot of credit as well because he really set the tone, I thought, in Game 6 and 7. He really became aggressive. The Knicks played undersized all series. Josh Hart is not a 4, even though he rebounds like he's a 4, but we know he's not a 4. And Pascal went at him every time the last 2 games of the series, and Pascal made it very uncomfortable for Josh Hart to have to defend him down there. But I think also it took a toll on Josh Hart being able to be active on the boards. And then obviously we got to the ab strain. So the injury part, we could talk about the injury part. And listen, I know people say, oh, there's no excuses. I'm not making excuses for it, but we also can't ignore the elephant in the room. Show me the person in this comment section that had the Pacers winning the series before the injury started. So don't tell me injuries don't play a part in it if you weren't going to pick the Pacers to win it if both teams were fully healthy. Now, with that being said, you still got to win the games. You still got to play who's in front of you. The Pacers did a great job of that. The Pacers yesterday had a historic shooting performance. That's why I say I don't want to take anything away from them. They were shooting 76% at the half, Trip. They were shooting lights out at the Garden. There was at one point early in the it was one point early in the third quarter where Nembhard, Naismith, and TJ McConnell were 17 of 18 shooting the ball. They like three role players who they don't expect much from aside from hustle and good defense were shooting lights out. Not to mention, Halliburton went on a run at one point where I think he hit 4 or 5 straight threes. Siakam couldn't be stopped in the mid-range. So everything the Pacers was doing was working. Rick Carlisle deserves a lot of credit. He took some criticism when he took Naismith off of Jalen Brunson in Game 5. He went back to Naismith on him for Game 6 and Game 7 and really wore down Jalen Brunson. And the Pacers did what they were supposed to do. They took advantage of the opportunity. Again, no excuses for the injury. You play who's on the court. You got to take advantage of the opportunity, and that's what the Pacers did.
Yeah, congratulations to the Pacers. Shout out to Ron. We're gonna go back to this next question. What do the Knicks need to add to become a contender? Then first of all, the Knicks are a contender right now. I believe they are a contender right now. They just have to be healthy because I believe they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And if you feel like a team can make it to the conference finals, then that means they're a contender, right? Now maybe you may want to upgrade it a little bit, but do you bring a Paul George over if you can get him for cheap? I think he's somebody who could just fit right into what they have going on. But as far as like who's available, I don't know. I don't see the Knicks making a major move in the off season, but so
I think, listen, everyone's going to point out the two obvious names that have been linked to the Knicks over the last, in some cases, several years, but especially the last couple of months, and that's Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. And I don't want either one of those guys. And no disrespect to them. I just don't want those guys. I like what the Knicks are building with this core. This is an organic build. This hasn't been a, hey, let's go get the splashy move. Let's go get the biggest name we can get. It has been an organic build, and I want them to continue that. I will say this, though, and I don't agree with you, Trip. I don't have the Knicks as contenders yet. And here's why. I got to be honest. I love the Knicks to death. You know that. But the same way we talk about injuries and you can't use it as an excuse, and sometimes we use it to defend the Knicks in a series, I also got to use it as an example of maybe why the Knicks aren't contenders yet. Because if Milwaukee's fully healthy, Milwaukee is the second best team in the East. If Embiid is healthy for a season, which it never happens, Philly's probably better than the Knicks over the course of a season, right? The Knicks were the number 2 seed this year, Philly the number 7 seed, but realistically, we know if Embiid isn't hurt, Embiid is probably working on back-to-back MVPs, and Philly is probably this, a 2 or 3 seed. So shout out to Will Gordon, shout out to the family, Will. I think for the Knicks to continue on this path of trying to close the gap, we also can't forget Jimmy Butler was out in Miami. That was significant because we know what Jimmy does in the playoffs as well. But for the Knicks to close the gap, I think you got to add a little bit more offensive creativity. For as great as Jalen Brunson was during this playoffs, you saw it. He was worn down by the end of the series because every offensive possession starts and ends with him. And you got to find another guy who can create some offense for you. So I would love for the Knicks this offseason to focus on bringing in a veteran point guard off the bench who can alleviate some of those minutes and can play side by side with Jalen Brunson. I'm talking specifically about a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon. I think Malcolm Brogdon would be a great addition as a guard who can help out off the bench and run the show. Paul George is a nice name because of his versatility, but Paul George falls right in line with what we talked about with injuries. He's a guy that has a lengthy injury history. And let's not forget, Paul George is in his mid-30s. We're not talking, PG-13 for the Pacer days. We're talking about a guy who has had several severe injuries and surgeries over the last 7 years. So I'm looking at a guy over in Brooklyn. And I know it's cliche because of the Nova Knicks, but if we could get Mikal Bridges and his versatility and what he could do, I'm being serious. That's the type of players I want to bring in. I want to bring in guys like that are young, that are versatile, that can add on to what we already have. I don't want the big splashy name. I'm be honest. I don't want that. I want us to continue to build depth because I think what we've seen last year and what we've seen this year, when you look at these young teams, you got the Minnesota hat on. You look at what Dallas has done. I know we're going to get to Dallas because I saw somebody throw up the Derek Lively statement. You look at how Denver won last year. Look at the Pacers. Depth is the new thing in the league. You gotta have depth. You gotta be able to go 8, 9, sometimes 10 deep with your rotation to be able to have sustained playoff success. Because you gotta be able to, on every night, your superstar ain't gonna be your superstar. It's gonna be some nights he's off. And the position the Knicks were in, granted, I know it's due to injuries, but the position the Knicks were in where we were only playing 6 and 7 guys, that's not sustainable for a deep playoff run. You gotta have more depth. So I want versatility. I want more youth. I would love a veteran point guard to back up Jalen Brunson to help with some offensive creativity as well. That's what I want.
Yeah, they do need a bucket getter. Will agree with that. But again, one other person who is a scorer for them who wasn't there was Julius Randle as well.
I'll say this, Will. It's not that I have anything against Donovan Mitchell. I think the beauty in what we saw with the Knicks this season, especially after the OG trade, was that there was a legitimate pecking order. Julius Randle had a great season this year because he understood it was Jalen Brunson's team. And Julius was the number 2, and then OG was the number 3. If you bring in Spider, I think that changes everything. Yep. I think now you get kind of a power struggle at the top because you're not getting Donovan Mitchell for cheap. You're going to have to send out a lot to be able to get him. And if you send out the type of assets that's going to be required, you can no longer say this is Jalen Brunson's team, because if it's Jalen's team, why are we spending so much to go get Spider? Because not only are we got to send out the assets, we got to now extend you on a new contract.
Yeah, and that's a very short, not too great defensive backcourt that you're gonna have.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be so many problems.
The Knicks already play small ball. Now you're talking about adding another high usage small guard.
Exactly. I agree with you on that one, Kyrie. Keep them questions coming in. Going to Kyrie McKnight. Does Tom Thibodeau run his players into the ground with minutes? We're gonna bring H20 on after we get through this last question here. We're gonna bring H20 on, and then we're gonna start running through the questions. Here's the thing, right? I believe yes and no, because I believe two things can be true in this situation. Yes, he does run his players into the ground with the minutes. However, in the playoffs, most coaches are running their players into the ground because you're not going 13 deep once we get to the later rounds in the playoffs. One, and then two, I mean, realistically, who did you expect him to play at one point when everybody is gone? Like, you gotta have no choice. I get it. You want to get these guys some rest so nobody else gets hurt. But realistically, if we're already down Randall, OG, Hart missed the game as well, right? So who's playing? Who we putting in the game? Somebody got to get some extended minutes, right? That means Brunson got to play more, DiVincenzo got to play more, Hardenstein got to play more. Somebody, everybody's got to play more anyway because of the injuries. So, but I mean, yeah, you don't want to see Cat, because I know even his players have said he runs them into the ground. I just saw an old interview with Joakim Noah where they were talking about how he would run those guys. So,
I mean, I don't believe he does, and I think there's a question that I do want to ask our guy H20 when he comes on in terms of the player mentality and wanting to come out of games, because Josh Hart has said himself that he doesn't want to come out of games. So for fans, it's easy for us to be like, oh man, he played 48 minutes, but Josh Hart ain't complaining about playing 48 minutes, and Josh Hart is not saying take me out of the game. Aside from him getting hurt in Game 6, there wasn't a point you can go to where he raised his hand and was like, I want out. He just let me play. Also, in terms of the injuries, let's go through them, right? The Julius Randle was a freak accident at the end of the Miami game when he gets fouled and he lands awkwardly on his shoulder to separate his shoulder. Yeah. The Bogdanovich was a rolled ankle on a play. Mitchell Robinson, that was obviously he was recovering from an injury when Embiid pulled him down on that dirty play. The only injury, Jalen Brunson, that's a freak accident. He's reaching in to try to slap the ball away. He breaks his hand at the end of Game 7, but his foot was twisted in another game as well, and that slowed him down. So the only injury you can go to that you can point to that say that probably correlates back to the minutes is OG with the hamstring.
Yeah.
All the other injuries were kind of freak accidents in the middle of a play where a guy gets injured, he gets dinged up, and now he's hurt. So I don't think it's fair to say Tibbs ran his guys into the ground. Also, come playoff time, every coach is going to play the guys he trusts the most. There's too much on the line for me to be tinkering around with lineups now and playing guys that I don't really trust on the court or who I don't know how they can handle that situation. So I think Tibbs did a great job based on what he had available to him. The injuries, some of them were just freak injuries that started mounting up. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson was playing well, and B pulls on his leg as he's going up, and then Mitch was never the same, and he's out of the second round. I don't know what Tibbs could have done differently. And if we're going to say he runs him to the ground, Tibbs literally was splitting minutes between Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson anyway throughout the playoffs. So it wasn't like Mitch was playing 30-plus minutes anyway. So where's he running guys on the ground? Only the OG injury to me is the one that you can probably say he was playing too many minutes, and that's what led to the hamstring.
Yeah, I mean, Hartenstein's minutes probably went up a little bit once we knew Mitchell Robinson wasn't going to be there. But that's natural. Somebody got to play the minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look back at the first series against Philly, he pretty much was splitting the minutes evenly between them two.
Yep, exactly. All right, we're gonna bring H20 on. Just because he is a Knicks representative as well. So we're gonna bring another Knicks fan up as we talk about this Knicks Pacers series and everything that went on with that. H20, Haron, Hargave, welcome back to Real Fans, Real Talk, man. It's been a while.
Welcome home, man. Welcome home, man. This is the home. But thanks for having me. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As always, it's a pleasure, my brother, to have you on. And we got to talk some Knick basketball. And I know you and I both probably feeling sad about the way the season ended, but let's start with this question from Kyrie first and foremost. You played at a very high level.
Yes, sir.
You would have the best insight on this from a player's mentality when you're on the court.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like I'm playing too many minutes?
Hell no. Hell no.
You're a shooter, so it's probably different for you.
But even when, again, so that's a great point. When I played at Sacramento State, I played the most minutes both years, my junior and senior year. I played the most minutes, and it's almost like I made it hard for my coach to be able to take me out the game. No player wants at that age and at that time, you're in your best shape of your entire life. These guys have just one job to do: work out, stay in shape. You know what I mean? Eat good, eat right. And all of those Knicks players, you didn't have no people who was out of shape. Look at the Knicks roster. Like, you ain't seen nobody
young too. The Knicks
young. Yeah,
young.
They not nobody who's like, oh man, you talk about Draymond Green, talk about minutes. Them guys is up in age. They in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? That's you playing Clay too much. You playing those are the guys. They 28, 20. Bro, you in your prime of life. So when these people talking about you playing too many, who's the oldest guy on the Knicks?
Bogdanovich.
And he, what is he? What?
That was just the vet that they brought over to help out.
Coming off the bench.
31,
right.
After nobody else is over 30.
So what are we talking? So what are we? When
29 and Josh Hart is 29.
Bro, these guys are under 30 years old. That's the prime of your basketball career, bro.
You start going into your prime at like 28, right?
28 is your actual prime, right? Before that, I probably hit my prime before that. I was a little, you know what I mean? My prime was, you know what I'm saying? My prime was, woo.
Well, I mean, you jump shot going though, so you still kind of lingering.
Yeah, I'm still lingering around here and there. You know what I mean? You'll see me in somebody gym hitting a couple threes here and there. But bro, the thing, it makes me laugh. Like, and real hoopers notice, like, nobody wants to come out the game. Nobody, you never want to. If you're a hooper, we would actually, I think the Knicks are getting criticized for how we want the NBA to be now.
Right. We can't have it both. Right. We can't have it both ways because everybody complains about load management. And then when the Knicks play at this level, it's like, oh, he's burning them out. He's playing too many minutes. And then as you're talking, H, I went back because you brought up a great point. When you look at the Knicks, right, physique wise, there ain't nobody who looks out of shape. There ain't nobody who looks like they're not an athlete, right? We criticize Joker like, oh, Joker looks doughy. He doesn't fit the prototype. Joker played over 40 minutes 6 different times in these playoffs. Nobody's asking Mike Malone burn him out.
100%. It's the playoffs. Who are you going to play? And then one thing, who are the Knicks? Again, they lost. Again, this starting five that they had, the only starter on day one was Jalen Brunson. Yeah. The Knicks had got two different teams. They traded away quickly Andre Barrett, Quentin Grimes, who was the starting two guard. And then you had all of the trades that they had, bro. Yeah, like at the end of the day,
even after the trade of OG, what was supposed to be the starting five never developed because obviously Randall goes down early. Mitch gets hurt in the playoffs. Then OG gets hurt in the playoffs. People forget, for as great as Josh Hart was for the Knicks, Josh Hart was never intended to start. Yeah, he was their sixth man. So he wasn't even supposed to start on this team. But like you said, it got to that point where they had to go to guys that, weren't expected to play that much. But this is what it has to be. It is what it is.
Nah, 100%. And as a Knicks fan, I hold my head high, bro. Them dudes played very, very hard. They played, this is the first year. I like the Knicks, but I always keep it real. I always keep it real. Like, as a fan, as somebody who works with the Knicks and have done work with them, I paid to go to a game this year. I paid to go to a game. I could have got free, get free tickets. And I paid to go to a New York Knicks game this year. When they played, they wound up losing. They played against. I paid full price. I went to the game against OKC when old boy hit the game winner.
Shea hit the game winner in front of the bench.
Oh my God! And so Shea should have got MVP.
Well, we're gonna get to that in a second. We're gonna get to that because that was my preseason pick. So we're definitely gonna get to that because I saw somebody put that in the comment section. I want to get to this Kyrie question that's up on the screen.
Don't worry, y'all. We're gonna start.
Yeah, we're gonna get to all the questions, guys. Because as you mentioned, the success of the Knicks this season. So Kyrie McKnight wants to know, was this a successful season for the Knicks, finishing 50-32, number 2 overall seed in the East? Jalen Brunson played at an MVP level and obviously bringing the energy that they brought back to the Garden and the city. In your opinion, was this a successful season?
Man, for all that, I mean, we could have definitely went. And now if we win that game, before I answer, if we win that game, we're going to the conference finals with Deuce McBride, right? No, nothing against Deuce, but he's going to have to play our point. Jalen Brunson going to be out, right? He broke his hand. So we would have been done. But at the end of the day,
that'll probably get swept.
We would have got a win.
Nah, we wouldn't. Not without Jalen Brunson. Without Jalen Brunson.
Realistically,
when Jalen Brunson got hurt, what was that game?
Game 2.
They were down. He came back. Completely. They ran the numbers up.
And the Pacers should be ashamed. Before I end, the Pacers, all that foolery and all that, they didn't miss one player. Nobody was injured from their team. They had that whole full entire the Pacers.
No, they didn't. They was missing Ben Mathurin off their bench.
I don't know who that is. He's not a factor.
He's a solid, but no, don't do that. He's a solid ball. Is he
a starter? Is he a starter?
No, he was fourth in scoring on their team. He came off their bench.
Okay,
but hold on. But we can't say they weren't missing anybody. They were missing somebody. He's their equivalent. He's their equivalent to if we're gonna do the comparison. He's like us missing Bogdanovich.
Okay, cool. They're missing somebody. We're missing 5 bodies, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody, we're missing 5 bodies. Right?
Correct. But let's not say they weren't missing anybody. They were missing somebody.
Well, okay, let's say it like this. The Knicks are missing 3 starters.
Correct.
Can we say that? Can we call it that? 3 starters.
3 starters.
But was this season a success? Was this season a success?
I really, and not to blow any steam or anything like that, I really thought the Knicks could go to the NBA championship this year. On God, like with the lineup, the healthy lineup that they had with OG and all that, and I saw them, and they went 12-0, and I'm like, yo, we really got something. This feels different. You know what I'm saying? But was it a success? Hell yeah. Jalen Brunson is now known what he's already known. He's a 1A player, right? So we got that. He was a consideration for MVP, right? He could have got MVP by leading that team to a 50-win record to number 2 seed. When people were ducking the smoke with Philly, they kept going. They kept winning, right? At the end of the day, it was I feel like it was a successful season to to the organization, right? It showed it to the city, because usually the people will be upset and mad. Yo, when they lost, I was like, yo, I wasn't even mad, bro. I was just like, yo, let's rest up and get better for next year. So at the end of the day, I feel excited about the upcoming season. I think Jalen Brunson now fully took over the team. It was like a gift and a curse of Julius Randle going out. Now the team knows who Brunson is, and if Julius Randle don't come back with that energy, knowing who Jalen Brunson is, then I think they're gonna get him out of here. But I think they're gonna attempt to. They might keep him.
How it goes.
How it works. And then if he ain't buying in,
All-Star break, then
you gotta buy out. They're gonna get at him.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
I honestly don't think that's gonna be an issue, because I think one of the reasons they were playing so well when you highlighted the trade was that Julius started to see that Brunson was playing at another level. And Julius, I think, bought in. That's why I made the comment earlier that I don't want us to try to go out there and go get a big name superstar, because it's clear this is Jalen Brunson's team. And everything that Leon Rose does moving forward should be to build around Jalen Brunson.
100%. I like.
I'm gonna say this though, in terms of this question specifically, Kyrie, the Knicks were 31-6, including yesterday with OG Anunoby. The Knicks had a great run. They brought a lot of excitement, but to me, it was not a successful season, and here's why. For all of this number 2 seed hype around the Garden, we played exactly one more game in the playoffs this year than we played last year. We were in the second round of the playoffs last year and lost to the Miami Heat in 6 games. I know the injuries played a part, but all we did was get to the second round and play in the 7th game this year. And so to me, it's more of a sideways season. It's not a successful season, because you measure success by how great you are in the playoffs, right? Had we advanced and we could say, hey, look, we went last year from the second round of the playoffs to this year to the Eastern Conference, yes, then that's a success because you got better from last year. But if you stood on the same level that you were on last year, I can't say it's a success. And I love the Knicks, but that's just me being honest on it. You got to elevate. You can't just keep going sideways.
So we did elevate. We elevated, but we couldn't get over the hump of when even in saying the series, we're up 2-0 with OG. We're balling, bro.
Correct.
You can't lose. You can't lose everybody.
But hold on. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
You can't.
You're right.
Lose everybody,
You're right.
bro.
We were up 2-0, but guess what? We were up 9 points in game 3. And if we would have closed out game 3 and went up 3-0, we win the series easily. And we blew a 9-point lead in game 3. Nimhart hits the shot of his life, and that completely changed the series. If the Knicks find a way to hold on in game 3, we're not even having this conversation. We're talking about the Knicks playing Boston, and maybe we don't ever see Josh Hart get hurt. We allowed the Pacers to extend this series because we didn't do our job in game 3. If we do our job in game 3, Josh Hart probably never gets hurt. We don't have to worry about Brunson breaking his hand. We probably take care of this series in 4 or 5 games, but we didn't. So to me, that's why I say it's a sideways move. Yes, it was exciting. I was right there with you, H. Trip, no, I was talking hella shit. I was excited, but it's a sideways move because just last year we were in the second round of the playoffs and we lost in 6 games. The only difference is this year we lost in 7 games, and it's even more heartbreaking because we lost on our home court. At least last year when Miami beat us, it was in Miami.
Yeah.
We lost at home, game 7.
Well, let me because we're gonna kick it over to this Celtics Pacers series. Shout out to Kyrie Thompson. This will not be a cakewalk for Boston. Before we get into this, let me just say this. I said it last week, and I gotta reiterate how I feel this week. Paul Pierce, you are goofy. Like, you're a real goofy, bro. Like, you out here stepping on Jalen Brunson's jersey.
What he do to you? What that meant? What did the Knicks do to you?
Nah, so I don't like that, bro. Like, you out here stomping on Jalen Brunson's jersey. Like, first of all, Jalen Brunson was the best player in this playoffs. Shout out to Anthony Edwards, but Jalen Brunson was the best player in this playoffs. So for you to be stomping on his jersey like he went in there and pulled the James Harden and stunk up the joint, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and then on top of that, I could even maybe understand a little bit more if it was the Celtics beating the Knicks. But it's like, bro, you stomping on his jersey because the Pacers beat Knicks.
A depleted New York Knicks. And that's why, like, I was so upset, like how Halliburton, he didn't even wear that outfit that he had on early in the day.
His wild fashion choices he be having?
No, he had on some. No, he had on the at the end of the game. He had on the Reggie Miller.
Right.
He didn't have that on when he like early on in the day.
Because cats don't be having that same that type of energy.
Yo, he the type of player, and I hate players like him who only talk when they're winning.
Yeah,
he did that all series, but that's who
Like,
he
when
is.
you're
He did that all
20,
series.
you talking like, yo, bro, you a clown. When you had 6 points, you looking all like deer in the headlights. Like, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that dude, you're different dudes. And I meet a lot of these people, but I will never, and you could say it here, you could play it back, and I could see him in public. I will never respect a hooper like that ever in my life. Like,
nah, he's a front runner. We know it. And shout out to Hoop Ball School. He's a front runner. I want to hold on. Put the question back up there though, Trick, because we never really got into that series.
Yeah, no, I was.
I'll say this: it's really going to be about, can the Pacers play? Can they take advantage of playing at that same style against the Knicks? Playing up tempo work, they were able to wear down the Knicks. That was their plan from the start. From game one of the series, they were picking up Brunson full court, trying to wear him down. Against Boston, I don't think that's going to work. Boston presents a lot of matchup problems for them, even without Porzingis. And I'm going to be interested to see how they try to play TJ McConnell in this series, because the Knicks can never really exploit it, but Boston can. Because all Boston's going to do is they're going to put TJ McConnell in a bunch of pick and roll situations and force him to guard guys that are much bigger and longer than him. Pause. And I think that's where they're going to have to figure out if they can even keep him on the floor. Also, I think Boston has much more defenders to throw at Halliburton than the Knicks had. For me, I think the Celtics win it in 5. I just think the Celtics are way more talented and they present way more problems for the Pacers. And I don't see the Pacers having the answers for them problems.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see this. It's not going to be a long series.
Boston should handle business, but you know what I'm saying? Hopefully nobody gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, if it does, we'll be having the same convo again. But as it stands today, realistically, what would you predict for the series? As we stand today, 24 hours before tip-off.
Say that one more time.
Who's winning?
24 hours from tip-off. Who's winning the series and how many games?
I'll give the nod to Boston. Boston been playing. Boston has other than the Porzingis injury, they haven't really, regular season, they didn't have an injury bug at all. Like, they was able to play well and play together, and they didn't miss anybody really. So,
and they're good enough to beat the Pacers without Porzingis.
Yeah, Pacers is not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, the Pacers not it. Again, not to go back, but I'm gonna go back real quick. If the Knicks had they line up and they had their team, we wouldn't even be talking about the Pacers, bro.
But let's not do that. But hold on. Now, this is why I got to play devil's advocate.
They would have got swept.
All right, but let's not do that because that's not where we at right now. Where we at right now is Pacers Celtics.
Well, we only one day.
Let's go to Hoop Ball School questions because we do got a lot of questions we got to get to, and we got to talk balling for peace, and we still got to talk the heavyweight championship, the new undisputed champ, and we got to talk about a couple of WNBA debuts as well that didn't go quite as planned. But Hoop Ball Scoop says, why don't Jason Tatum play with that killer all the time? Sometimes he's so laid back. I'm like, dude, you a monster kill. That's a question you're gonna have to ask Jason Tatum. That's why he's not in the MVP conversation. That's why right there. That we don't talk about him as the MVP because he doesn't have that. I think the Celtics just have a really
he's too cool for school. Like, he's too chill. He's that's his mentality. And you'll never get anything. You'll get that, but I think that's his like he's like, he's smooth. He's a smooth player. Like he don't got that killer. But I say Boston in 5. Boston's gonna win the series in 5, and I would say Jason Tatum just doesn't have that like he got all the tools. I remember watching him at the Jordan Brand Classic at the Barclays Center, and I'm like, he reminded me of Melo. He had the jab step, the step back. He had all that. Dunk on you.
Yeah, but Melo's a different animal.
I'm telling you, he had like in high school. I'm like, yo, this kid is the goods. Like,
he might have the moves, but he ain't got that like Melo.
Well, no, but that's what H was saying though. He got the skill set. He wasn't speaking to he wasn't speaking to his heart. He was saying the skill set from what he displayed.
Nice or something because
I just think. Listen, shout out to the supporters who lock in with us every week. But I got to be honest, y'all want Tatum to be. I think y'all wanted more for Tatum than he wanted for himself because for like months now. Nah, but because for months people been putting in the comments, why Tatum ain't in the MVP convo? Why he don't get mentioned as like the face of the league? Because Tatum is hot and cold. That's who he is. And maybe we can't speak to his mindset, so I'm not going to pretend to know why he doesn't have that killer instinct every time he hits the court. But I will say this: Jason Tatum has been very blessed from the day he got in the league to play with a lot of talent around him. Look at the teams he's played on and the quality of players around him. And maybe that's the reason why he doesn't have that killer instinct, because he can play laid back because he has other all-stars around him who can carry the load when he doesn't have it on particular nights. So for a guy who was drafted number 3, it's very rare that somebody is drafted that high and they play around so much talent all of their career. Tatum has had great talent around him since the day he landed in Boston.
Facts. Shout out to Will. Will said Boston and 5 is so disrespectful.
Well, he's a Pacer fan. He must be a Pacer fan.
Nice.
Tatum be Tatum, but they need Brown to be Scottie Pippen.
I don't. Yeah,
I think his Pacers can take it. And I don't know about that. I don't know if the Pacers can win this series.
But let's be real, Will. Their pace, right? Talking about the Pacers, fits right in with what the Celtics want to do. Because if you look at them throughout the playoffs, the Celtics love to get up and down the court and get transition threes. So the pace isn't going to affect them. I think, to me, the real question for the Pacers is, where are you going to find the defensive answers for what the Celtics could do? Because the Celtics have so much versatility. They're just going to pick at whatever scab you throw out there. That's why I say McConnell is going to be interesting to see how they try to use McConnell in this series in comparison to the previous series.
Block work. McConnell block work.
They're going to put him in pick and roll. Right. They're going to put him in pick and roll, and they're going to get him on the elbow. They're going to get him down in the post, and then Carlisle's going to have some tough decisions to make.
Yeah. Who ball scoop? We're going to get to your question, but I'm just pointing out, y'all up in here bringing up the Lakers again. We ain't about Lakers.
Nobody's talking about no daggone Lakers.
Nah, it's in the comment.
You gotta do this every week.
It never fails. They bring up the Lakers. Then when we start answering their questions about the Lakers, they get mad at us for answering the question that they presented about the Lakers. And it just happened again.
Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody tripping on LeBron or the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that later. Right? Yeah. But right there, I've been waiting to get to this question here. Shout out to Kyrie Thompson. Of the final 4 teams left, which players have the most pressure to get it done? I'm going to say Jason Tatum.
I was about to say the guy that y'all want to be the face of the league.
Exactly.
They won the most games, right? Boston won the most games this season.
Yeah.
They had the best record in basketball, but on the Western Conference, you got the guy that we've been saying for weeks is going to be the face of the league once LeBron and Steph officially retire, and that's Anthony Edwards. He's doing something to put the stamp down for him being the face of the league. You know, the Celtics are winning, but Jason Tatum, he ain't pissed on the hydrant yet. You know, so you got to mark your territory out, you know what I'm saying, to be the face of the league. Anthony Edwards is talking the talk and he's walking the walk. And even in the game 7 situation where he struggled in that first half, he was doing everything else to contribute to the game until he finally got his rhythm going late in that third quarter to ultimately help them come back from that 20-point deficit and win that game. He put his stamp on I'm the face of the league. Ja gracefully bowed out with all of his antics last year. He's out of there. Tatum had a chance of being the face of the league. And Anthony Edwards is doing what he does best.
Ja done?
I don't think Ja's done, but
a lot more work to get back, because now we haven't seen him in the playoffs for a whole season. We didn't see him a whole year. But once you're not in the playoffs again,
and then
then get injured this year, you out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to happen. But it's definitely got to be Tatum, because over the last 6-7 years, I mean, Boston has consistently been to this point in the playoffs, right? Conference finals, they went to one finals. At some point, you got to get over the hump. For Anthony Edwards and what Minnesota's doing, this is the first time in over 20 years. For Luka, this is only his second conference finals, and we expect Luka to be competing for championships for a very long time. The Pacers are the Cinderella story of the playoffs. Nobody had the Pacers at this point. So all the pressures on Boston, who had the best record, who by all the metrics and all the analytic numbers were they rank as one of the greatest teams of all time based on what they did in the regular season. And so now, right. And let's not forget, when they were the number 1 seed last year, actually they were the number 2 seed last year, they almost got swept by Miami when they was down 3-0 in the conference finals. So they can't afford to lay an egg in another conference finals. They got to not only get over this hump, they got to actually win it all. And it's shaped up perfectly for them because Milwaukee was injured, right? Philly was banged up. The Knicks were injured. They get a lesser Pacer team. They got a Miami team that didn't have Jimmy Butler. So they got all the they played a Cleveland team that wasn't worthy of being even in that round. And then Donovan Mitchell misses 2 of those 5 games. So the path could not be any clearer for Boston to at least get to the finals. It has to be on Jason Tatum. All the pressure is on Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics.
I say I hear the Tatum and, you know, I don't know why Jaylen Brown don't get – he's the highest paid player in the NBA.
Yeah, but that's based on the market when he hit the market.
He's the highest paid player in NBA history. And he just goes under the rate. No, he just goes under
because he's not the number one guy on, or at least he's not recognized as the number one guy on the team. So that's what happens. It's usually the number one guy that gets the most of the blame and the most of the praise.
Got it. But this guy just gets an easy pass on everything. Jaylen Brown, an easy pass
because of how we just sat up here and talked about Jason Tatum.
100%. Easy pass. But I would say Luka. I would say Luka Doncic. He has, you know, the most pressure because he's gotten there again. He had to make it work with Kyrie. They got rid of Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Brunson's doing very, very well. And then people have been looking for that next guy. They've been saying it's Luka, and he's leading the European players and things of that nature. And I think the league really wants someone like Luka to be that guy as well too. You know, Anthony Edwards, great, awesome, but he's still up and coming. But as one of those players that got to show and prove, I think Luka, you said Tatum has been there. You know, Tatum's been to the finals and all that.
He didn't play well in the finals either.
100%, but he at least got there.
Here's the thing with Luka though, right? If you're looking at the 4 teams that's left, right? I think we would all agree that Minnesota and Boston have the 2 best teams overall, right? So when you're looking at it from that standpoint, there's not as much pressure because we're like, all right, well, if this team is clearly better than Dallas, obviously they're going in the series as the underdog. We're not expecting them to come out of that series, so it takes away some of that pressure. When you're the favorite, there's always going to be more pressure on you to get the job done, especially in a situation where it's like Boston, because they're the team again that has been here year after year. Remember, Boston was going to the conference finals when LeBron was in Cleveland. Right? The big play when Tatum dunked on LeBron.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what'd you say? What'd you say, Trip?
What happened?
I didn't hear you. When he
technical difficulties.
What happened, Trip? When
the mic headphones.
When Tatum dunked on LeBron James? Oh,
yeah. But hold on. Hey, let me ask you though. Would you be surprised if Minnesota beat Dallas?
No.
All right. Would you be surprised if the Pacers beat Boston?
Yeah.
So then that means the pressure's on Tatum. Because to Tripp's point, we could see Dallas losing the series and nobody would be surprised or be shocked. But if Tatum doesn't do the job and they lose to the Pacers,
how many passes are we going to give Luka then?
What passes are we giving him?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't gone nowhere yet. Remember,
people be saying Luka's the MVP. He the best player in the like. You don't hear that?
He's the best player in the league. But he's
he's in the MVP conversation. He's in the MVP conversation. But Luka has performed in the playoffs. This is the best team Luka has had around him. Let's not act like Luka's been playing with great teams all these years. You look at what he's done the last 4 or 5 years in the playoffs. Like, we forget that he beat Phoenix by himself that year in the playoffs.
Phoenix is weird. They're a weird team.
No, but hold on. When he beat them in the playoffs, when he beat them in the playoffs, when they was down 3-1 in that series, and Phoenix had just come out of the West the year before, and he was dropping 35 and 40 on their head every night. We forget he was going to war with the Clippers by himself before he got Kyrie. Luka has always shown up in the playoffs.
Brunson was there, right?
Yeah,
Brunson has one good playoff run. Let's not, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate. I love Brunson. Let's not act like, this was not the same Jalen Brunson.
When he led them, he helped lead them to the conference.
Yes.
You talking about that year when they went to the last
candidate. He was not nowhere near the play he is now.
But he played very, very well.
Cool. He played cool. And Luka has played well all the time. Not just one playoff series, not just one playoff run. All the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Monty, we got you. Don't worry. We're going to get through all of these questions. Yes.
Oh,
listen, we got 2 Knicks fans on the panel.
Hold on. See, you can't. This is why you can't. Shout out to Amani. Amani, I fuck with you. I love you. But this is why you can't please ever. We wasn't even talking about the Knicks just now for like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We were not even talking about. We were talking about playoff matchups.
Miss Williams, we was talking about a whole nother situation. We was talking about Boston and Pacers, and we talking about who got the most pressure on them and everything like that.
Let me hold on. Let's shout out to the ladies that's in the building. Let me go to Pooh's comment right here. We're gonna go to Pooh's question. Is Anthony Edwards now the face? We already started talking about it, NBA, and what makes someone the face of the league. I'm not gonna say he is now the face of the league. He's putting himself in a position to be the face of the league moving forward. Now, if they win a championship this year, obviously LeBron and Steph are still going to be here, so you can't really fully take over as the face of the league, especially when they're still playing at a high level. This ain't, they're not hanging on by a thread here. They're still, in the upper echelon of players. So he can't officially take the throne as the face of the league just yet. And he's in Minnesota, which is not the biggest of markets. But if you win a championship, that is going to be a huge leap. And it will be hard for anyone else to catch Anthony Edwards as far as any of the younger guys, because his resume will be so far ahead with the NBA championship. Because if the Timberwolves do win, I really don't see anybody else being the finals MVP but Anthony Edwards, because I think he's going to take over if they do win the NBA finals.
I think for fans of the game like us, he's the guy we want to be the face of the league. He personifies everything we love about the game. So we would like him to be that, but he does have to win. Tripp is right. To me right now, the face of the league is still Steph Curry, because he's still the guy that people get most excited about to see. He's the guy that people are still buying his jersey at a record number. People are still buying tickets to see him play. And his style of play is so appealing to everyone that to me, he's still the face of the league. But Anthony Edwards is probably on the cusp. And like Tripp mentioned, if they win this year and he's finals MVP, then it's a legitimate claim that Anthony Edwards is becoming the face of the league.
I would say Anthony Edwards is someone who the league would want to be the face of the league, because he's bringing that energy, that attitude, got a little that swag, like little Michael swag to him as well too, and just
he stays out of trouble.
Yeah, he stay out of trouble, and he don't care. He don't care about who you are. He gonna go. He's what people wanted LeBron to be, in a sense of being the best, but talking that talk too. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
he gives me that Kobe energy. He gives me a lot of that. You know what I mean? So I think he is he's somebody that the league would want to be the face of the league, if anything. But they might want him to calm it down a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just so that for marketing purposes and things of that nature. But I think this is who he is. This is what makes him who he is. But yeah, I think that the league is kind of on the same page as Anthony Edwards right now.
I'm just going to respond to Will. I don't even want to put his comment up on the board because I don't have to pause the comment. But Ja has a long way to go to recover from what he did to his career, from being caught with the gun on live twice now. He has a long way to go, and then he didn't even play really last season, so he's playing catch up. So he's behind the star or the future stars of this league by a year. So he has to not only come back, stay out of trouble, do well this season, get his team back to the playoffs, go on a deep playoff run. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even win something just to get back on course with the rest of these guys who are already starting to put their stamp. And again, no one is farther ahead in the race than Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Ja's got to become marketable again. Right now, he's not marketable.
What do you think of where Zion's gonna end up? Side question. This is not in the cards. What do you think Zion? Because he was supposed to be like the face of the league, and he's just not it.
If Zion wants to become the face of the league, he has to come to the Knicks and win a championship.
Nah, I don't. I think
Just his
I
style.
don't even think it's that. Yeah, I don't even think it's that simple anymore. I think there's fatigue. I think Zion shot up very quick. We were excited about his game, and then it's kind of flatlined the last couple of years.
Who do you think he'll end up like a player? Like
it's gonna be modern day Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Wow.
With a shorter prime.
Yeah, with a shorter prime, really. In terms of excitement, like real talk, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever the platform is that young people will be watching highlights on, they'll be watching highlights like, yo, why nobody talking about Zion? And those of us that got to see him are gonna be like, yeah, y'all wouldn't understand. It wasn't as great as the highlights make it seem.
Nice. Shout out to Terrence. Impressed with the T-Wolves or disappointed in the Nuggets? I'm impressed with the T-Wolves because I picked them to win this series, and myself and Eric, we told you guys what it was going to take to beat a Denver Nuggets team like this, and you needed multiple 7-foot athletic bigs who can play defense, and that is what the Timberwolves have, which is crazy because again, the same GM that built that that Timberwolves
built the Nuggets. Yeah, built the Nuggets team, built the T-Wolves team to beat that Nuggets team.
And built the team to beat the championship team. So I'm very impressed with Timberwolves. I'm not disappointed in the Nuggets because I picked the Timberwolves to win in the series. That's what happened. They won.
I think you got to be impressed with the T-Wolves after blowing the series lead, being down 3-2 to have to win, and Ant stood on business. He said, we'll be back for game 7. And then he had a great game 6. And then I also think what was the most impressive thing about game 7, people going to talk about, they was down 15 at the half. They was down 20 in the third quarter. You look, game 7, they got 35 points from Jamal Murray, 34 points from Joker. Anthony Edwards only scored 16 points, and yet the Timberwolves still won by 8 points. Their defense was so impressive in this series to beat the defending champs. It was a complete team effort, and that's what is impressive to me. That on nights when they needed Ant-Man that's dropped 40, he did that. But on nights when they needed to be the defensive specialist that they had become throughout these playoffs, they were able to do that too. And it really was a tale of we could beat you however you want to play. If you want to play a defensive battle, we could beat you that way. If you want to get in a shootout, we could beat you that way as well.
Yeah, I would say definitely impressed with the T-Wolves. Them young boys really playing hard, and just to mesh everything together and playing unconventional style of play too. We're having 2 big men in the game at the same time, but I guess it makes sense because Cat is mad. He's a outside shooter, and you got Gobert who's down low and grabbing rebounds, blocking shots. He's the conventional big man who's not a scorer like that. But I would say that
Ration BBR FaceTime video.
Very, 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 very impressed with the T-Wolves on that. In the play of Anthony Edwards, I think that Minnesota hasn't been seen like that too. So people haven't seen them on the main stage, and they showed up and they showed out. And I was gonna stop watching after yesterday, but I'll continue to watch that series. Yeah, just the Ant-Man.
Because this is gonna. Especially, I think you will appreciate that battle back and forth between Anthony Edwards and
I'm definitely.
He's gonna be guarded.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an amazing series. It's truly gonna be an amazing series.
The Boston Pacers series, if you want to go to sleep, take a nap, whatever, because I think it's not gonna be lit. But
the Boston Pacers series, that's the night of the week that you make your plans.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Your lady want to go out, you look at the schedule, or Boston Pacers playing. All right, this is the night we can go out Tuesday and Thursday, because those nights that's Boston Pacers. But Wednesday and Friday, I want to be home because T-Wolves and Mavs is going to be a classic.
The only thing that I would hope on some like crazy, if the Pacers were to upset Boston, I wouldn't, it would be like,
I would like that. To be just
to spite Tatum a little bit. So I would be now. I'm rooting for Obi, but I don't like Hallenberg. I ain't gonna hold you, man. That dude is a clown, bro. He's a clown. He's a bona fide clown. But anyway, yeah.
Eric, do you know the question? Because he says Mike Malone calls reporter questions stupid. after Game 7.
He probably asked him, "Hey, how do you feel?"
Mike Malone. I think Ron was making a statement, but Mike Malone was frustrated after the game, and he wasn't, I guess, very embracing of the media. I get it. I'm not mad at Mike Malone for that. It's an emotional game, and when you play a 7-game series, heartfelt series, you're the defending champs. Obviously, you don't want to lose that status. I give the Nuggets. I give Nuggets a lot of credit because they defended their crown. They went down on their shield. They was down 0-2 in the series, and there were some people who thought they were going to get swept. So they definitely held their own and fought back.
They came back and took the lead 3-2.
That's what I'm saying. They came back, and that's what made it a great series. It was a lot of swings back and forth, and so it was an emotional moment after the game. And listen, I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at that. We talked about it before. It's an emotional game. I'm not mad at nobody for displaying that emotion afterwards or during the game.
Yeah, he did say he had Murray in handcuffs. He did. He was locking him up. And that
he speak his truth. He's so young. Like, what do you think about the respect factor? Dude try to throw it off the floor and win at the end of the game, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what is this coming to? Like, where is this? There's no there's no respect factor in
but why I'm not mad about that. They're a young team. They're bringing an energy that I think is necessary to the game as well. Every team can't be cookie cutter. Every team can't be media savvy. Every team can't be like, by the book. This is what you need. You need attitude sometimes. You need attitude. You need that type of energy. And guess what? If we're gonna call that disrespectful, then we gotta call what Jamal Murray did disrespectful when he throwing a towel and a heating pad on the court. Because that's beyond disrespectful.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. Facts. Shout out to Rich Dre. Rich Dre says, let's preview the Mavs versus T-Wolves series. Can T-Wolves handle both stars? I want to give Lively so much credit. I didn't see this coming out of Duke. Well, first of all, they just finished beating the team that had 2 stars because Jamal Murray is a star, as well. We got to put respect on his name. So they just finished doing that. So, I think they can, especially, is one of those stars was a 7-foot best player in basketball, arguably, that was a part of them 2 stars in Denver. So if we're just basing it off of that, I think they definitely can. But I'm picking Minnesota to win this series as well. I just think the team is just too much better overall than Dallas. And now we're not talking about a young OKC team that we're playing where I picked Dallas to beat OKC. Now we're talking about a team that has a mixture of young players, but with some experienced veterans that have been playoff tested, for a long time. So
who you giving it to? Who you giving it to? Who
pause you on that.
Oh man. I didn't know I was on. It is what it is.
Nah. In this, listen, H. In this climate, you gotta be very mindful of your words.
I gotta be pause savvy. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
Trip? Who you got? Minnesota? How many games?
Game 7.
I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 6.
Yo, in things like this, I don't care who wins. But Kyrie got a ring already. Luka, I think he flops too much. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards, man. I want to see them guys do it. I like to see people win who aren't supposed to win. I love the underdogs.
So you want the Pacers to win?
Nah. You want me to curse on here, man? You want H20 to curse on here, man? Like, nah, I don't. You want Wayne Brady to? Nah, I don't. I don't want the Pacers. They win. The NBA did bad. They did bad by allowing the Indiana Pacers to beat the New York Knicks.
Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
You better than that. How did the league allow? Hold on, stop. How did they allow the Pacers to win, H?
Yeah, they did bad. Okay, so let's talk about plays.
No.
The Knicks started to come back. They didn't call a foul when DiVincenzo got tripped.
Stop. Just stop.
All right, no, we can't do this.
Nah, we
got
can't do
too
that,
many
H.
questions.
H,
Too
we
many
can't do that,
questions.
H.
Telling you,
Stop.
bro.
Come on,
Yeah,
H.
we got too many questions.
Come
We're
on,
already in
come on.
overtime.
No, we not. No, hold on. No, we're not
We
gonna do
taking
that.
this serious.
The
Yo,
league, first of all, hold on. First of all, let's be real. If we're gonna throw conspiracy
They
theories out
let
there.
them play
No.
physical on
If-
Brunson, bro.
If
So
we throwing
physical,
out
he was
conspiracy
bumping, hitting,
theories,
tripping,
if
kicking.
we throwing out conspiracy theories, why wouldn't the league want the Knicks to play the Celtics?
I don't know. They're
Right.
idiots.
So why would the league want the Pacers?
They did bad. That's
to
what I said.
advance?
The league did bad.
Listen, stop. We gotta pick
Just
questions.
Don't do
bro.
that. Don't
Who
do
y'all
that. They
taking
did
this
not.
serious?
Listen, and
You
you know I'm a
didn't say
diehard
they
Knicks
did
fans.
bad,
They
bro.
did not stop. We lost. We lost the series. That's it. The
Minnesota or
league did.
Dallas? You gotta pick. Come on, Minnesota or Dallas? Who you taking?
Who you got?
I already told you. First of all, you see the hat I wore today.
Who you got, Eric?
I'm taking Dallas. I think that the styles make fights. I know what Minnesota did against Denver was impressive, but now this is a different style. And I'm interested to see how Rudy Gobert is going to be able to stay on the court with the bigs of Dallas, because the athleticism and the spacing of the floor for Dallas is completely different than Denver. With Denver, Joker is slow and methodical, and it's a lot easier to stay in front of him and game plan and be physical with him and throw bodies at him. With Dallas, PJ Washington can stretch you out to the three. Pause. You got Derek Lively running the baseline. You got Gaffer running the baseline. And then the biggest difference between the two is you saw they was able to harass Jamal Murray full court, right? With Dallas, with those two guards, you can't play them the same way, because Kyrie and Luka are so creative offensively that they will make you pay for those type of mistakes. If you try to put Jaden Daniels on Luka, I promise you, Luka is going to take him down on the blocks and just have his way with him footwork wise and go crazy there. If there's no way they're going to let Ant-Man play 35 minutes on Kyrie on the perimeter, because Kyrie's going to wear him down, and then Ant-Man ain't going to be the same guy in the second half of that game. To me, styles make fights. I like Dallas in this one.
I'm going with Minnesota. Ant-Man is 22, 23 years old. He's a young man. Bro, again, back to this. Cool. We don't get tired. You don't get tired at the age.
I didn't say he was going to get tired, but I promise you, in the second half of games, when Kyrie get going, and he been chasing Kyrie around, because what people don't give Kyrie
a factor. Kyrie, how old Kyrie?
I promise you, it's going to be a factor. I promise you.
30.
Kyrie don't get enough credit. Kyrie.
I don't fear a team that's led by a Kyrie-led team.
But he's not their leader. Luka is.
He is. He's 1 and 2, right? So I don't fear a team that is led with Kyrie Irving. He don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand. And then Luka, he's cool, but he complains too much. He's too like, he'll start soaking. If you watch a Dallas Maverick game, Luka goes to the floor. He's begging to literally begging and Ant-Man gonna be in it, like, you know what I mean? Like what Russell Westbrook was kind of doing that with him. Stop him, but Russell Westbrook ain't the same player,
of course,
that he was, and he can't even have that. So if Russell Westbrook is doing that, Brooke is doing that. If he was still a Russell Westbrook who was on the Thunder and everything like that, then that's cool. But now he's a not even a role player. He's like beneath a role player now, and he can't. Him still bringing that energy. That's why the league, they take him out. Boom, boom, 2 take you out of it. That would never happen to, like, you see how like Joel Embiid grabbed grabbed Mitchell. He should have been thrown out the game. He should have thrown him out the game. They didn't do that because Joel Embiid's the star. You know, Russell Westbrook not the star no more. So that's why that's why Luka and all of them was able to get him up out of that game. But at the end of the day, what I'll say is Luka Doncic is a whining star. He cries too much. And I think that Minnesota is going to exploit that and get all in his face, get him frustrated. And Kyrie is just going to do something weird. And
I'm telling you, man.
Imani Terrence, we're going to talk about the Puffy video towards the end of the show. I just want to let y'all know we didn't forget about y'all. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We got to talk about the ladies, couple of debuts. Hoopballer Scoop says thoughts on Caitlin Clark not looking so great her first 4 games in the WNBA. This is what Diana was talking about, that people killed her for. Does Clark, with all the TV games and sellout, needs to play great? She don't need to play great, but she need to play good. She can't be having 10 turnovers a game. I would say that she's probably still leading the league in turnovers right now, even though her second game was a little bit better than the first game. But
this ain't college. This ain't your own team. You can't just jack up shots all over the place.
This is the thing. She can jack up shots for that team. So, but the problem is she's playing on a very bad team.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So,
any team that has a #1 pick
thank
is
you.
not
Like,
a good.
right.
This is the Spurs because the Spurs get lucky and when they get the #1 pick in the draft.
Yeah, so that part. So
and even still with Wemby, they were a bad team.
Yeah,
Wemby is phenomenal.
The Spurs tank to tank again, like. But anyway, she's on a horrible. Her team is not good.
So I don't.
It's okay. You're gonna focus in on her, and then you probably got all those other veterans. Oh, this girl, nah, I ain't. This girl
to lock the same way will be in the NBA when it's a highly touted incoming rookie.
Yep.
They're going their hardest at Caitlin Clark every night. Because I seen the other night against the Liberty, Stewie had like 31 and 10 in that game. They going hard at her every night. She's on the team, so it's gonna look even worse.
You got to understand that again. These are rookies. They're still rookies.
And how tall is Caitlin Clark? Caitlin Clark is not even 6 feet, is she?
No, she's like 6'1".
Okay, so
6 feet, 6'1".
You know, she's a smaller guard, and again, she's playing for a really bad team, so it's going to look even worse. So I don't expect her to be playing like she was playing in college, but I think she'll start to pick things up. And again, she's starting to get better with every game, but don't expect this crazy jump because she's on a very bad team.
You know what's crazy though, Trip, right? We do this show every week. Remember when there was people in the comments questioning about Wembanyama after his first couple games? People was like, oh, is he going to be a bust? Is he going to be everything that I expect him to be? It's 4 games. It's 4 games. And as H mentioned, the #1 pick playing on a team, obviously that was terrible last year. All they did was add Caitlin Clark. It's not like they went through free agency and added a bunch of other people. It's Caitlin Clark. Let's see, they lost to the Liberty the other day, right? Last time I checked, Liberty were in the WNBA finals last year, right? Liberty probably the second best team in the league, right?
MVPs on that team.
Right, the Liberty, the second best team in the league.
Yeah.
They lost. Hold on. They lost to Connecticut the other day. Connecticut's a playoff team.
Yeah.
Like, Caitlin Clark is gonna struggle, and that's cool, and that's part of the process. All rookies struggle. It's an adjustment.
100%.
She went from playing at Iowa, where she had a high usage rate, and she had the freedom to do whatever she wanted to do in the offense. And you've already seen her coach come out and say, hey, she can't just keep jacking up them shots when she comes across the 3-point line. I mean, the half-court line. So it's an adjustment for her. She'll be fine. But damn, like y'all ready to crucify her because she looked average in 4 games.
Let me say this, and I need to ask y'all this, and supporters, y'all can, throw in the comments on this because I'm having a little bit of a dilemma. So July 11th, the Chicago Sky are playing at Liberty. They're gonna be at the Barclays Center. I'm already done paid. I got to go to Jamaica for my bro's wedding on the 11th. Now, I just got offered a courtside seat to see Angel Reese, come to Brooklyn and play. Do y'all think I should try to talk to the bride and groom and see if they can push the festivities back a day so that I can go to the game and sit courtside, or how should I handle this situation? I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Whatever y'all say, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I would say with that Caitlin Clark situation, the WNBA doesn't even have they don't even have like a real training camp. They don't have I literally felt like she went from the NCAA tournament. And like 2 weeks later, she was playing in the WNBA. Like, literally, that's what literally happened. They don't have like a training preseason. They go right into the games, right into the game. So it's like, yo, you just out there hooping, like open run, open rec. So she's going again, like E was saying, it's going to be an adjustment period. There's going to be some challenges in the very beginning as a rookie into a new league. This isn't college. This isn't her same team, but she's being thrust as the top person, and she's going to get everybody's best shot as a rookie. And I think that these women should just be blessed that all the eyes and ears and attention that Caitlin Clark is bringing to the WNBA right now.
Yeah.
And you know,
she's at a the problem is she's in a situation where she's such a big deal that the WNBA needs to push her to help build their brand, which is going to be beneficial to everybody in the league. But at the same time, she's in a situation with the rest of the league where it's like, oh yeah, we finna show. So this what y'all think she is?
Yeah,
we shut that down every chance we get. We shutting that down.
So it was almost like, remember when Jeremy Lin, when he had his run, and then everybody was like trying to shut him down and trying to kill. I'm just hold on. Bro, that was a thing.
Bro, it's not the same thing.
It was a thing though when people was really trying, like
because we knew Jeremy Lin was trash. We knew Jeremy Lin was hype.
I'm just, again, just the optics of it all. People trying to come at Jeremy Lin, but he still was getting 38. He had 38 against the Lakers and Kobe. He wilded out. Hit game winners in Toronto and all. But yeah,
we gotta speak. Hold on, we still got a couple of things we gotta get to. Let's talk a little bit about Balling for Peace right now.
Facts.
We first
great
of all
segue, Trip.
Down June 15th. We going so we got a crazy day on the 15th because we got Balling for Peace in the morning, and then we going to the Garden right after that to see Bruce Carrington's next fight. But we're gonna be at John Jay College this year for the celebrity charity basketball game. I seen today that you first of all, two people I seen today that I was hyped about. I seen Ray is gonna be there.
Yeah.
I seen not mad the guy from the Oval. Tyler Perry show, the Oval is gonna be there. So I thought that was kind of dope. But talk to us about Balling for Peace and what you got going on this year. So, some of the new things we're gonna see this year at Balling for Peace.
It's gonna be dope. Well, I like one of the first things that is gonna be new and refreshing is that the vendors are all gonna be on the same level this year. So the vendors are gonna be inside the gym, other than years past, and this will be the first time in any one of my events where the vendors are inside of where we're gonna be. So we rented out both basketball courts, the auxiliary gym and the main gym. With that does have like the skybox seating as well. That's what they call it. So that's going to be going down. So we'll have skybox seating, and with the VIP tickets that we have, you'll be able to get free meals, drinks, and all that, and you'll be able to be in that space with like the celebrities and different people, and just experience Balling for Peace in a whole nother way. But one of the new things that we will have this year is the vendors being on the same page and having like a vendors row, like having their own space and area. We're bringing in the high school elite, the Balling for Peace high school Elite 32 high school game. We're bringing in that all-star game this year. That's going to be really, really dope to add it on to what we've been doing. In years past, I used to have the youth game like middle schoolers, but now we're bringing in the high school, like a high school all-star game. So that's going to be dope, where the Balling for Peace all-stars, right, will be playing against my guy LJ. He has a team. LJ's all-stars. They'll be playing against them. But we'll be having some of the top kids, high school kids in the nation, to give them that other look, because they need it. I called my junior varsity coach. I'm sorry, my JV coach. I'm sorry, my JUCO coach. I called him Coach Klein the other day and was asking him about what's going on. And he was telling me like, yo, if you're in high school, like a high school senior, it's going to be really tough because of the COVID holdbacks. These players are much older now, and they're taking their COVID year, 2 years that you could get back. And you're also taking these it's a lot of players who are taking their time. They're taking their years. They're taking their medical years, and just college in general is very, very tough for the young athlete who's coming in now, because all these guys want these transfers, these Division I transfers, these JUCO transfers. And so it's a lot more with the older guys who are playing. So we're doing that high school classic, the high school all-star game there, to give more eyes and ears on them. We're bringing back the 3-point shootout. That's gonna be fire. And then of course we have the slam dunk contest. We got that sponsored by Real Fans, Real Talk. That's gonna be crazy. We got some of the best dunkers in the world.
Let me run through this list right now.
Okay.
We got Isaiah Jackson.
Yep.
We got Jonathan Havilah.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ray Westbrook.
Yep.
We got my guy. We got Eric's guy. Even though we ain't gonna be biased.
No bias.
Maxwell Pierce in there. And no, I'm not gonna be betting on the winner of the dunk contest. Just letting y'all know, I'm not betting on it.
No side bets, man.
We got Roscoe Johnson.
Yes,
Bounce. We got Davell Jackson, and then we got Tish Emmanuel. So we got 8 dunkers this year. We're gonna work on getting the dunkers up here before we get to the actual dunk contest. But yes, Haron is right. We will be giving out $500 again to the winner of the dunk contest, as well as you guys get to come back on the show and talk your smack afterwards, because everybody knows that's the best part about winning is getting to talk.
Yeah, man, we talk that talk. I like, we've been doing a lot of promo for it as well too. We're gonna have the official dunk fly coming out Friday, so stay tuned for that. The official dunk fly will be out. We went to the digital the video flyers, which has been getting a lot more views and likes. That's something that we've been wanting to do for a little bit. I like to stay a little bit ahead of the game, or try to be ahead of the curve when we're promoting these events and doing certain things. Shout out to everybody who's been giving drops. This year we got a lot more drops. We're just strategically putting out everything, but these flyers are going to start flying out very, very soon with everybody who's in it. And I want to kind of come out with the funny people first. So you saw our first post was with me and Shiggy, just talking about
Black Rose too. That was funny. That was
me and Black Rose. We did a skit. Again, I'm in these things. People be wanting me to be in all this stuff. I tell you, yo, E and I be telling them, man, y'all could do it yourself. They like, no, I want you in it. I'm like, bruh, but I guess it's
get that extra exposure.
Yeah, huh?
It's great exposure.
Exposure for the brand.
It is. It's super dope. Black Rose was able to edit that thing. She called me. I was at work. She was like, yo, let's do a skit. I'm over here. I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. And it was hilarious. The skit was hilarious. But so we got Ray. We have
is Ray playing in the game?
He gonna play.
Nice. Who's coaching?
Hold on. The rumor is Ray was nice.
Yeah, he used to go to Sullivan.
Yeah, I heard stories about Ray. I heard he was nice.
Yeah, Ray could play ball, but he had a hiccup. He lost to referee. Respect My Whistle, who was refereeing Bowling for Peace last year. They had a little one-on-one game at the Nike gym the other day, and it was like while he was in the referee won. So
he got to redeem himself. Then he might be looking.
Ray got to redeem himself, and then everybody calling out Shiggy. Nick was calling out Shiggy.
That's 9 out of 10
calling out Shiggy. Because 9 out of 10 times, you know what I'm saying? You know how it go. You're going to have to put that ball in the basket 9 out of 10 times, you know what I mean, to win the game.
Oh, also, we got a big shout out to A Butter. A Butter is going to be contest with us. Y'all, A Butter was one of y'all favorite guests that we had on the show, so I know that's going to be exciting for you guys. I'm happy. I was able to just hit him up, and it didn't take nothing. I got you. I'll be there. So I'm looking forward to A Butter helping us judge. We might bring one more surprise guest. Judge.
I heard the judges gotta be better, man. They said that Camo shouldn't have won last year.
Nah, he should have won last year. He definitely should have won.
They said he shouldn't have won last year. They said this is the second time I'm hearing that. I heard the dude from Utah should have won the year before that. Nico won, and I can't keep having these dunk contest champions ducking the smoke and not coming back the following year.
Yeah, you got
Nico did it, ducked the smoke. Camo did it, he won and ducking the smoke. They not like, you know what I'm saying? It's
the
crazy.
kid from Utah who was nice. The problem is they missed dunks. They were doing some hot dunks, but we can't. We're like we come from the era of the Maxwell Pierces Where guys, when you
try.
win
First
things, you
try.
don't be missing dunks like that. You got to make them dunks. Bro. Like it is what it is. I can't give you a 10 and you ain't make the dunk. I don't care how difficult the dunk was. You got to make your dunks, man. Camo last year, he was making them. And the last dunk he did, he dunked over the judge, didn't he? As a matter of fact,
In the wheelchair?
he jumped over a couple of cats. So he definitely deserved it.
I heard he didn't, and he ducked in the smoke. So you know what I mean? If this is gonna be a thing, if you win, you got to defend your title.
Put that in the contract.
You got to
put that in the contract.
He's like, yo, I had a long season. Yo, my knees is beat up. I'm like,
oh my god,
bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go into other names. People talking about. I had people say they got to get paid to be in the dunk contest to win money.
That's weird. But
I'm like, yo, how?
Listen,
I said it's not a dunk show.
Yeah,
a dunk show is. I'll pay you. Come and do a couple dunks for the kids, and yeah.
And on top of that, y'all listen. The way y'all be missing some of these dunks, you expect somebody to pay you to miss?
That's a fact.
Child,
just saying. Listen, we have seen this is not our first rodeo. Okay, we've been judging dunk contests for a while now, which means that one, we're not just settling for anything, and it don't matter whether if you got a name, you don't got a name, you gotta come and you gotta show some flashy, fancy power, speed, whatever kind of dunks, but you gotta show us something different. That's first and foremost, okay? Because we're not going for the same old. We're not giving away $500 for the same dunks we saw 2 weeks ago. Like I'm telling you right now, if we get an NBA dunk contest, ain't nobody getting the $500. Y'all better come to play at the Ball for Peace Slam Dunk Contest because that's the one that really means something.
That's one that really matters. People actually look into it. You know what I'm saying? They really.
That's a fact. H, you somehow have found a way to consistently up the ante every year with Ballin' for Peace. And not just basketball. Obviously, we got the flag football games now. You got the softball game, which is continued to grow. But you recently put up a post that I wanted to ask you on because how gratifying is it for you to not only put this type of event together for the community, but then you kind of broke some stars out of this too, because we saw Tristan, who now was at NBA All-Star Weekend as part of the celebrity game. Obviously, you have Maxwell Pierce, who has dunked at some of the all-time great dunk contests and was on ESPN. And then Filet, with the Globetrotters, and then Filet, who's a viral celebrity and his basketball commentary. And these are all guys that you brought to the fold very early on when the world really didn't even know who they were.
And also Filet is the voice of like the NBA voiceovers. And he does commentary, like you said. Yo, bro, man, like this stuff makes me really genuinely happy. Like there's certain times that I reach out to them and just be like, yo, I'm so happy for you guys. Like I'm so proud of you guys. Like, and that's why they all come back because they know. You know what I mean? T Jazz, his story was insane. And I don't think I've ever really went on public and really. This dude flew himself out from Wisconsin as a senior in high school to come play in this game. He flew himself out from Wisconsin.
That's crazy.
Stayed in my boy Yali. He stayed at his crib in Jersey. They drove to the game to get the story was insane. And then he had that viral moment where he did the thing and flipped, it made Alex, the guy, the sponsor from Wooter, spin around and everything like that, and had those viral moments. And even White Iverson had like 3,000 followers when he first came to Ballin' for Peace.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember you telling us the story that day. White Iverson flew in that morning of Ballin' for Peace. I think you had told us from the West Coast.
He flew in, and we scheduled something with him. He told me he wanted to get engaged, like he wanted to propose.
That's right. Yeah.
He wanted to propose to his now wife. And we planned that whole thing. And then Fam won the MVP too.
Yeah.
The game winner. And it was my birthday. So they surprised me with a cake and all this other stuff. And then I had to still keep that in mind. I was like in tears from the cake because my birthday was the next day, and people. That game, 2018, was really, 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 really a real special game, a really special game for Ballin' for Peace. That was an incredible game. That was an incredible day. But White Iverson, we had a whole plan together, man, and it worked to perfection. He actually wound up hitting the game winner. You got him the MVP, and he got engaged, and she said yes. So that happened at Ballin' for Peace. These are all Ballin' for Peace moments. T-Jazz, and this is all the first time in that. White Iverson, the back and forth with him and Filet was incredible. I think y'all have it. We got to kind of put that footage out again, man. That footage was insane. The back and forth, these dudes wasn't missing.
Yeah. We got a lot of stuff in the archives. H, let me give you this question because shout out to Hoop Baller Scoop. I told him I was gonna get to this. This actually was your question, this Lakers question. H2O, can the Lakers win a title or be contender with the 40-year-old LeBron leading them? This may hurt Trip's feelings. I don't think the Lakers will win again while LeBron's there. Yo, Hoop, man, we family, bro. Like, come on, don't do that, man. We family already.
So I literally answered this question because someone kind of posed it kind of similar, but in a different way. And they were saying, like, it was because the Lakers won the end season tournament. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, the end season tournament does not mean, that's like the Euro Cup. Like, they have that in Europe and things like that. It's cool. It's great. But it doesn't really matter, right? If you don't win the NBA championship, then it doesn't matter. So I would say LeBron at this point in his stage in his life, he's just playing now to continue to pad stats and wait for his son to come in the league. That's what LeBron James.
LeBron is just trying to win the chip. He ain't out here just padding stats now.
LeBron James is trying to just make that differential very, very, because KD may be up, but KD's health won't allow him to stay around. I can see KD scoring
anywhere in the stratosphere as LeBron. Let's not.
You gotta.
But I'm talking about points. I'm talking about points.
Yeah, to get to the point record. First of all, you gotta at least play 20 years. There's a reason why Kareem held it as well. You got to reach 20 years. Secondly, you got to be damn near healthy for all of most of that 20 years. KD's not close to that either.
That part. So what I would say is LeBron right now, he's just trying to continue to push the envelope of what does he want to play. He's more of a businessman. He's more of why I still play basketball. When I play ball, when I'm suiting it up and going and playing with the Wizards, it's more just for promotion, for Ballin' for Peace. There's more. I don't care the same. LeBron still loves the game, but does he really care about winning another championship? I don't think so. He's
adding his stats to make separation. And he definitely cares about winning the championship. Then is that really gonna close the gap?
So I would say no. I don't think LeBron James will ever win another championship, and that's just not no hate, no nothing. I just don't think that it's always going to be a problem because he has to be the guy.
I was about to say,
if LeBron was to go on another team and be like if LeBron was to come to the Knicks, they could have won a championship this year with this roster. Right now, the way the Knicks play, LeBron could have been a great player to play like in that system. Great player. But with him leading the helm, there's no way that he'll win another championship.
Yeah, Braun wants to win a championship. H is right. He's got to be willing to take a secondary role and allow other guys to lead. He'll still have his moments, but you got to let the other guys lead you, and then you pick your spots to be LeBron James, as opposed to I'm going to be ball dominant. I got to control this whole situation.
He take and Trip. I've said this for years. He'll take a point guard like Rajon Rondo, who's one of the best point guards, pure point guards to ever play in the entire NBA, and make him a spot up shooter. He did that with him. He did it with George Hill. He Kevin Love was 30 and 30 guy. He could get
when Rondo worked, they won the championship.
Yeah, but that's not H's point. H's point is how he makes everyone else has to adjust to what Braun wants them to be.
100%.
He doesn't allow guys to be in their natural. Yeah, he doesn't allow them to be in their natural element of what you are. If you're a great point guard, I should allow you to be a point guard and facilitate our offense, not stand in the corner. And
whoa. And I'll tell you this: when I saw LeBron James play in person, have you ever seen LeBron James play in person, Trip?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Have you
seen-
ever been to a Laker game or any game with LeBron James played in the game?
I've seen him in person at least 4 times.
You would be disgusted, Trip.
Well,
The
I mean,
amount of things that you don't see on TV with him and just his
The interactions, yeah.
interaction, he give me Julius Randle vibes, bro. Like on certain aspect with his bro, it's bad, bro. Like I remember this one play, the ball comes off the rim. You know, Rondo gets the ball, he's going to, and Bron is right there in front of him, like, yo, like, give me the ball. Like, it's like, bruh, let a point guard be a point. That's why they bumped heads so much. Rondo and Bron should have been like, yo, Rondo, let him set me up, get some more years. If Bron play off the ball, he can get 3 more years.
let me go. There's one more question for you up here, and then we're gonna. I'm gonna come back to your comment. There was one more question.
You don't think so, E?
I don't think at this point, no. I think I've said many times that Bron's biggest mistake was how quickly he blew up the Laker team. He should have allowed those young guys to develop, and I think that could have extended his window. Because look at the young talent they sent away just to get AD. You're talking about Ingram, you're talking about Hart, you're talking about Kuzma, Caruso. These are quality guys. Lonzo Ball, quality guys that you could have developed around you. And then, like you said, let them do the heavy lifting. I'll be LeBron when it's necessary.
All right. Well, let me get to Terrence's question, and then I'm gonna go back to Imani's, and we're gonna get ready to wrap up. H2O, keep it 100. What's your thoughts on Bronny James and him averaging 4 points a game? May get drafted. He averaged to me.
My honest thoughts on Bronny James is he needs to be able to show and prove what he can do. He got injured, or he was hurt, and he played limited minutes and things of that nature. I do not think that he is ready for the league. I do not think that he is shouldn't even be in the the runnings to be drafted. And if he does get drafted, he's only getting drafted because of his dad. And that's it. I mean, the dude, is he athletic? Yeah. What is his position? Is he a point guard? No. Is he a pure 2? No. And those are the positions that he would need to play. So at the end of the day, he needs to show us that he's either one of those or a pure point guard that can score and be that effective, dominant, bouncy point guard, maybe like how, I wouldn't say D Rose, but like how Westbrook was exposed. That's the type of game that he would have to play. Like lockdown defender, like
he's too. So, and he had Westbrook at 6'3" was jumping out the gym.
100%. Bronny James got bounced too. He got bounced.
But Westbrook was like a freak athlete, 6'3", 6'4".
So this is what I'm saying.
Physical guard.
If he's not
was a physical guard.
If he's not that,
no, he's not.
Then he can't play right now. He has to define who he's going to be. And what is his game right now? What is Bronny James' game?
He's an undersized 3-and-D. That's what he is.
Yeah.
So he has to go back to college.
He'd be like a Pat Bear, but just not as good on defense.
Not real. Realistically who Bronny is, right? Because they was like trying to put out player comps the other day. Bronny James is Avery Bradley. That's who he is. He's a guy, like, if you leave him open in the corner, yeah, he can knock it down, but are you going to get open shots?
Really good, too. I like Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley was a solid pro.
Solid pro player.
Right. And Bronny, that's really his player comp. Because, like, when they showed what he was doing at the combine, knocking down shots, it's like, oh, he had 12 straight. Yeah, those are open shots in the gym. That's what he's supposed to do. If you're a pro, right, Age, you notice, if you're a pro, you're supposed to knock down the open shots in the gym while you're working out.
If you're not, you should be
shouldn't be there.
Right. Shouldn't be there. But at the end of the day, like, and this is not to go back into when I was playing and I was working out without an NBA deal or schedule, I'm working out 2 and 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shot automatic. Like now, this, me doing this, it's all muscle memory. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like if I was still doing that, it'll be crazy.
Did you see yesterday, right? Like you said, speaking of muscle memory, right? The hoop bus was at the Garden for Game 7. Allen Houston.
Now, hold on.
Right, check it, right? Allen Houston ain't played basketball in 20 years. Allen Houston knocked down 6 straight shots on the hoop buzz. Like just ice cold, like all right, like you said, muscle memory. I could do this in my sleep. This is what I've done my whole life. Yeah,
it looks all day, same thing.
We can just last one out. Shout out to Kyrie. My bad, y'all. All right, it's crazy how Kyrie didn't want to play second fiddle to LeBron, but is totally comfortable doing it for Luka.
He has to.
One. I mean, you got to think he was a lot younger when he was a teammate with LeBron, and LeBron was in his peak as the best player in basketball. So you had no choice but to play second fiddle to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But with Luka, it's like, yeah, now you older, yeah, he could be more comfortable.
Well, also, Kyrie's not an idiot. Well, maybe is, but he's not. Like, right? You know, he did say the world was flat, right? But but anyway, I think that he understands that this Dallas move was like a last chance thing for him. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody was really gonna rock with him after all that stuff was happening in Brooklyn. You talking too much. You like just shush. Somebody must have told Kyrie, "Hey, shush, get another Did they re-sign him?
They did.
So yeah, he's good now.
Well, I think it's a combination of what you both said. Trip, as you mentioned, Kyrie was younger. Kyrie has also come out and said that he felt a little deceived by the situation with Braun, because when Braun came back, this is Kyrie's words. He said the way it was presented to him was that it was like, hey, this is still your team. Mm-hmm. And Braun is coming in to help us get over it, like help us, teach us how to win. And then hold on. I'm not saying he's right. Right. But what I'm saying is he felt misled by the whole situation. That's why you can look back and read on it. When they won the championship, he actually requested a trade after they won the championship.
Yeah.
He didn't wait to the following year. He actually requested it after winning the championship.
That's dirty, bro.
And then they kind of talked him off the ledge. It was like, no, let's try to run back one more year. And when they lost in the finals the next year, that's when he said, all right, I'm going public. I want out. So he's always said he felt a little lied to. But to your point, I think he also realized this is the last hurrah. There aren't many options. I gotta play nice. I gotta figure it out. And I think it all went hand in hand.
He with the right person. He with Jason Kidd.
He was Jason Kidd. I think Mark Cuban understood. And like I said, I think it was a combination of all those things, because Kyrie, he had to understand at some point, I can't continue to be this stubborn. It ain't gonna work out. I gotta be a little more flexible with the situation with these teams. It can't just be about me. We talk great about Kyrie right now. We forget he was doing the Nets dirty, bro. Like
he did them filthy, bro.
Like not like how you don't call a team and tell them I'm not showing up tonight. Like they finding out from your teammates that you're not playing that night.
That's
and then
wild,
and then the video service of you at a party. Like he was doing the Nets dirty, bro. But
I don't know where he get that from. Like, and then they wanna. Then he wonder why they don't offer you a contract getting paid.
He did them dirty, bro.
$200 million, bro.
Yeah,
and then you injured, you sitting out. Like he playing for Dallas. He playing games. He playing for them. Like at the end of the day, like you wasn't playing for the Nets. You wasn't doing none of that, fam. Like it's crazy. Like that's whack.
Let's get to the messy / toxic portion of the show, because I know the ladies been waiting. Shout out to Imani. She been holding us down for a while. Thoughts on Puff Daddy's video coming out? Your initial thoughts for the end of the show. Crazy thing is when I saw the video, and I don't know if you guys seen it yet. You know who hasn't seen it yet, but I immediately it kind of gave me Ray Rice vibes, and you know the whole situation that he had within the elevator with his lady. I think it's disgusting. You know, to see something like that is like, and the fact that we see that video, and I feel like it's a slap in the face to everyone to see that video and to say there's nothing that can be done about what's occurring in that video because we're past a statute of limitations where charges could have been filed because of how far back the incident happened. I thought the apology was BS. I felt like you only apologized because the video came out and you look like a monster. Which you are, because anybody that would do something like that is definitely a monster. You know, you need help. You need some type of counseling, something, because that is crazy to see that. Especially somebody that has sisters, that's very protective of his mother. That there's no excuse for what we saw in that video.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna say the video was disgusting. It was disturbing. Trip, to your point, like you said, right? We as men all have women in our lives in some, capacity. Mothers, aunts, daughters, in my case, sisters, whatever. And the first thing I thought was like, where were the men in Cassie's life? Because there's no reason Puff should be breathing. And I don't wish death on anybody, but I know if that was my daughter, my mother, my sister, he would not be breathing anymore. He would not be. There would be no more days above ground. Not for what he displayed, and it's far worse than Ray Rice. What Ray Rice did was bad.
Yeah.
Ray Rice hit at the time. He hit his fiance. He knocked her out cold and dragged out an elevator. Puff punched her in the face. Then while she was down, kicked her in the face.
Right.
Then continued to just completely disrespect her by throwing things at her, and the level of comfort he displayed while doing it. He's sitting in a towel.
Yeah.
And
that's what makes it worse. It's like
right, you're like look, think about how comfortable you are that you're doing this with not a care in the world. You didn't even care if somebody else happened to come on that floor. I'm sure it was the penthouse that they were on, but you weren't even worried about if somebody else happened to come up on the elevator. You weren't worried about if anybody else happened to just stumble upon you guys as this was happening. You treated this like it was just a regular afternoon for you, and that to me was super disturbing. I agree with you as well, Trip. I thought the apology was very weak. I did find out today. I didn't know. I was one of the people, like many others, who thought like when he apologized, he should have been man enough to say her name as well. But I just found out today that through their settlement of that civil suit, he's actually not even allowed to say her name in public. So maybe that's why he didn't say her name, but that still doesn't mean that it makes the apology any better. The apology was whack. As you mentioned, it's more of an apology because you've been exposed. Because at no point did you intend on apologizing. When you settled, you didn't apologize for your actions towards her throughout this whole process.
Help that you claim you got. That video was from
2016, they said.
So
yeah, 2016.
16 and now your spirit never moved you to apologize until the world sees.
Yeah.
It's you got caught. That's it.
All of it.
That's all. So my thoughts on that was like you spoke the comfort level. So my initial was like, oh yeah, this ain't the first time.
Not even close.
The way you so comfortable. Like if it was something that was normal, you like, oh shit, like what am I doing? Like this dude he ran out, like you said, in a towel. How much more comfortable you need to be?
So run out barefoot in the towel.
Run out barefoot in the towel, like yo, get over here. And he dragged her, like, dude, bro, if that's my sister, like you said, that dude not here. Facts. I got 3 older sisters, and I grew up with my mother. My grandmother. Women are very. I just spoke about this when I got honored the other day by women. Women are very important people in my life. I grew up in a household of women. You know what I'm saying? So I respect women, and at the end of the day, that dude would not be, he wouldn't be here. The comfort level that he had, if that's my sister, but anybody, my aunt, like, yo, dude, what? I'm coming to your crib, and he only apologized, like you said. I didn't even listen to his apology. I saw the thing on, so I ain't even listen to nothing he said because he's a clown.
See, here's the thing, right?
And Diddy been a clown, and I've always felt he was a clown. I always said, why is Diddy even famous? What did he do to elevate anybody? Everybody that he is around him is like dead. They broke. People that like, what's happening? He broke up groups. Who's still, like, even Mace, if it wasn't for it is what it is, what was Mace doing?
Yeah.
He went, what? Who can name somebody who's in a better position from when they started messing with? Where's Farnsworth Bentley? What happened to that guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the I'm just saying.
So what happened to that guy?
He used to hold it down, the dude's umbrella. Then people used to say, "That's weird, bro. That was weird." But now
it is.
So watching that video, it kind of made me cringe, bro. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And then sitting there, acting like he in a movie, throwing shit at her and all that.
Yeah.
And here's why it's BS, because the whole while the raid is going on and they're doing all of this, you out having a good time, living your best life. You didn't think while any of that was going on, maybe I should come out and say an apology. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a bunch of BS, because the world has now we can. It's more than just Big Gene coming on the show and saying what it is. And now you're physically seeing with your own eyes how much of a monster this person is. And one of the things I will say about Gene, because I forget which time it was, but we had a conversation, and he was saying how when he was with Puff would never do something like that around Gene, because first and foremost, Gene wasn't going to allow that anyway. But secondly, Gene is a mandated reporter because he's a parole officer. So if he would have seen something like that, he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna do his job first and foremost.
Yo, but money talks, bro. And I think a lot of people who Diddy was around, a lot of people love that money that he was filtering in for them.
Of course,
he's bringing them a lot of money.
That's why you got guys, artists that still will go on tour with him.
He fed. Let's keep it a buck. He fed a lot of people,
and he paid a lot of them women to be there, and the lifestyle. Imagine you going from.
We're gonna get to it.
Yeah, imagine you going from that lifestyle with Diddy to back to the hood of some
regular. That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
So they like, damn, now I gotta. So they took. I'm sure a lot of people took a lot of like belittling, and even the way he was on them shows, he talking to them.
He got them in the band. He made them walk to Junior's from Manhattan
City for cheesesteak.
A bridge to go.
They said, "I don't even eat it."
That is the most demeaning, embarrassing shit you could do to somebody, especially
artists who just trying to come up, bro.
Yeah,
all these people thought he was Day 26, the Danny the Kane, all of these. You know what I mean? The Rod Laugh Train.
And look how they talk about him. Let me tell you these comments so we can get ready to get up out of here. Fellas, why do you think the video came out now? And didn't it look like she tried to get away while he was in the shower or something? Y'all ever hear rumors Puffy may be involved with Kim Porter's death? I'll be sure keep saying something to the effect of y'all will know, the real reason I was in the coma. Yeah. Let me go through because there's a couple of points you got here. I believe the video came out now because you finally pissed the person off that could where it's like it can't be held.
Hold on, my understanding of it is that the video came out now because that was obtained during the raid in his house. That hotel is out of business, so Puff actually had the copy of that assault.
I don't know.
That's my understanding of it. That's what I've read in two different articles. That video, along with other videos that will probably be coming out soon, were part of the belongings that were taken during the raid.
That don't even make no sense for you to. I don't even know why you would keep something like that.
He probably
sit there and his big old thing and watching it like, yo. You know what I mean? Like,
it's possible. It's possible that he paid somebody to get the tape. Which I'm sure
that's very possible.
Right, but I don't. But I'm saying I don't know. Like the part that I read doesn't explain whether and maybe the feds will never know. Did he pay for it after right after he did the assault, or did he pay for it when he knew the hotel was about to go out of business? Because he was fearing that.
For it right after.
He probably told him yo, take that down.
Yeah,
I'll give you the bread for it now.
Here's $1 million.
Right.
That tape and make sure there's no other copies.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah,
these-
my understanding of it was that was part of the raid.
Yeah, you can't wait in a situation like that because then
So
somebody else.
what about this? Real like I didn't. So we're like, yo, why they raiding Diddy house? Why would they raid Diddy? Like I didn't. And then all of these things come out like, yo, Diddy got Tupac killed. Diddy got this. Diddy.
I just put the question down so that way it's not covering your face.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So it was like, why is Diddy doing this? Why like Diddy got Tupac killed? Like it's like nah, that's blasphemy. But this just shows stuff like this shows how a person really is. And 50 Cent was on that thing right away too. 50, he'd be all over. He'd be all over Puffy.
The raid of the house really started with the Puffies. I mean, with the Cassie.
Cassie.
Right, because the allegations in there is what really leads to, as Trip we talked about before, the whole sex trafficking, the drug use, all those things are documented in the civil suit. And so once he settled that, though you're not being prosecuted, you're admitting some sort of fault or guilt, which then opens up the door. Like, all right, well, if you're admitting that what some of these allegations are true, then now we got to investigate it, because this woman is saying that she was a part of the sex trafficking ring. If you taking her across state lines and forcing her to have sex with your friends, that's sex trafficking.
Yeah.
If she's telling us that you had to get her drunk and high to perform these sexual acts that you want her to perform, that's part of sex trafficking. That's part of kidnapping now, because I'm holding you against your will and making you take drugs to perform sexually. So that's what led to all of these things. My question that with the conversations I've had with people is that I don't understand why there haven't been any official charges, because they raided his house over a month ago. And normally when you get the search warrant to search somebody's house, you have enough evidence. You just going in there for the final pieces of the puzzle. So the fact that they haven't charged him or officially arrested him, I don't know whether they just don't have enough yet, or if they're using him as a pawn for someone bigger. Because the rumor that we keep hearing is that his house had all these videos and everything was being recorded. And there was, as Gene said the other day, there was politicians, there was some preachers in there, there was celebrities in there. And so are they going to try to kind of lean on Puff to get him to snitch on somebody that's of a higher stature? Or is this really about Puff?
Yeah. Who bought a scoop? What's Puffy's and I'll be sure his link. Puffy raised his son.
Quincy,
yeah.
Quincy.
The older skin looking one that doesn't look like Puff at all. That's I'll be sure.
Yeah.
That's still
there. Mm-hmm.
And who says, remember Andre Harrell came up dead after he was about to release a book. People around Puffy be coming up dead. Man, listen. You ain't lying. It do be happening. So, but yeah, man, it's a crazy situation all around, and I will say this: I don't think this is the first time that something is going to come out and shock the world, like the world was shocked actually viewing that video of him assaulting Cassie. So. It is what it is. Gotta get up out of here. Let everybody know how they can get the tickets, because you still got some early bird tickets left, right?
We still got early bird tickets. They've been moving, man. We're gonna check the count, but every day people are buying, and it's this super exciting, the process, of every year of people coming in and tapping in and getting tickets and all that. But yeah, you can find tickets at ballinforpeace.org. That's BALLIN, the number 4, peace.org. Wake up, man.
No, I'm up. I was actually reading something that just came through. I'm not sleeping on you, bro. I'm looking down at my phone.
Okay. Yeah, ballinforpeace.org. June 15th, we back. You know what I mean? Year 8, man. Year 8. You know what I'm saying? It's super. It should be 10. But with the 2 COVID years of 2020 and 2021, we did not do a basketball game. I didn't want to say
MJ was off when the Rockets won. Then they came back and got the 3-peat. That's what we had to do.
Yeah, so it was a blessing to be back in New York last year. This year we more on a normal schedule of with the event and locking in, and putting the information out there. And John Jay, I feel is going to be a really really dope event. We're able to lock in a lot more stuff earlier than we were able to do last year as well too. So it's always a blessing, when you can get these things going. So again, June 15th, Ballin' for Peace, celebrity charity basketball game, year 8. It's a blessing to keep this going, man. You can follow me at H205. That's the letter O, number 5, Ballin' for Peace, BALLIN, the number 4, and the word peace. Get all your updates and everything like that. But yeah, we here. The celebrity list, you'll see them like we always like to give you a little taste, pause. Every single day we're gonna drop a new celebrity. We gotta say pause, a little. You know what I mean? Gotta say pause. But we back. No Diddy, man, no Diddy. So we happy. I'm happy. I'm happy that you guys are back. I'm happy Maxwell Pierce is back.
Yes.
So you'll see a lot more surprises too.
Eric, give us a final thought, man.
Yo, as always, man, we want to thank all the supporters for locking in with us every week, man. It's been amazing. H got to see it firsthand tonight. The questions are coming in, and we want to thank H for everything that he's doing in the community. If you guys haven't already, make sure you head over, get your tickets for Ballin' for Peace. If you're in the New York City area, trust me, you're not going to want to miss this event. Bigger and better every year. Last year, you brought out a legend, and Whoopi Goldberg. We're not going to ask you bringing out this year, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of legends in the crowd.
100%. Yeah, I always need love and support with this stuff. As it grows, my community grows, my people around me grow. So we've made legends so far. We're bringing out legends. The Knicks will be involved. John Starks and Larry Johnson is gonna be there as well this year too. Gonna have the Knicks presence. They're gonna be throwing shirts in the crowd and all that other stuff too. So it's gonna be really dope, man. So just having the city, getting the city behind you. We're one of the last few things that are still happening in New York City that originated from New York. It's a lot of migrants and a lot of people who don't even live here. That never was from here. They come in here now, and so it feels like a fresh start. Although every year it feels like a fresh start. Because we gotta re-engage people who haven't been there since year 2 or 3. Oh, you still doing it? Yeah, I'm still doing that. The algorithm of Instagram. So it's like,
outside. We're still outside.
Yeah, huh?
So we're still outside.
Oh, we still outside, man. It's a blessing to be outside, and be above ground every single day. RIP to Corey Homicide, my guy Homicide Williams. You know what I'm saying? That was I got a lot of insight from him. You know what I'm saying? That dude took street ball to a whole nother level, what I mean? That nobody could have ever imagined, and he lost his life to cancer, stage 4 cancer, man. Like, he found out, like he said he wasn't feeling well and found out, and just like that. So, us as men too, we always got to get checked too. This is a whole nother thing, but we got to get checked. We got to make sure that we up on top of everything, but RIP to the legend, Corey Williams, Homicide, aka Homicide. Your thoughts and your thoughts and my prayers are with you and your family, and it just sucks, but I'm gonna keep pushing, keep going, keep fighting, keep striving, and this is one of the reasons why I do what I do. Because of the people that I saw do it before me as well too. You know what I mean? And you got to give people their flowers while they're here. A lot of times people don't. I got honored the other day, real quick before we go, from the North Manhattan alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. It was a women's chapter, and you never know who's watching you either. There was a woman I used to work with by the name of Lanier, who I worked with over 10 years ago. And I got a call from her about being honored for the Far Reaching Impact Award. That's what they call it, the Far Reaching Impact Award. And I was the only person not in a frat or, sorority, fraternity, whatever. And I was the only one that they honored outside of that. You know what I mean? And it was super dope for them to bring me in their space. It was at Riverside Church. Had over 500 people. It was crazy in there. The Who's was in there. I met a lot of dope people, a lot of connections. And it was really, really dope too. And it really kept me going. Some things got to keep you inspired to keep going sometimes, because sometimes you don't know people watching. You're like, are they really getting this stuff or what? You know, so I was honored and blessed that that was a thing. And I want to thank them for that. Thank you again, Lanier, and your chapter, the end. I was telling them I wish I knew a lot more about it, but I read up on it, and they have done some amazing stuff. They've been around for a very long time, and I thank you for that award, and it's just gonna keep me going and keep pushing.
Sir, before we get up out of here, just really want to shout out Usyk on becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. He had that boy Tyson Fury dancing on skates around the ring, beating the brakes off of him. Most of that second half of that fight. So congratulations on that. I like where boxing is going right now. Big shout out to Usyk. Also shout out to Speedy Dettori. She's going to be joining us very soon as well. She's one of the better up and coming. She's 8-1 right now, fighting on the women's side of boxing. She's going to come join us and rock out with us very soon as well on the program. Make sure you guys are locked in with us on all our social media: Instagram, Twitter at Real Fan Talk, Facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk. And of course, subscribe to that YouTube channel, YouTube.com/For the Fans Productions. And if you're not in New York City on Thursday nights and you can't watch us from 8 to 9 p.m. on Horizon 43, don't worry, you can still watch us from anywhere in the world. Just click that red button on the homepage at realfansrealtalk.com, and you can watch from anywhere in the world. And make sure you subscribe to the two of the best podcasts, period. The Sanchez Show podcast and the Real Fans Real Talk podcast, streaming on all major platforms. With that being said, don't forget, man, pull up, meet us at Bowling for Peace, because we're gonna be outside that whole day. I told you we're going from Bowling for Peace straight over to the Garden to support the family, Bruce Shushu Carrington, and watch him get another W and climb the ranks in the featherweight division. With that being said, for myself, Trip Young, my co-host, my brother Eric Sanchez, aka Legend in Two Games, and the man, the myth, the legend, Haron H20 Hargave. We up out of here. Peace.